Hello, how are you today? Uh, we are going to have a review of the simple past and more practice. Yes, I hope you had the time to check the last week's presentation with a little bit about the topic. And now we have these exercises. Yes, so we have for this unit simple past and simple continuous. Yes, so let's start with simple past. So let's read these bubbles here. It says, did you go to the movies yesterday? Yes, I did. We saw the movie Blade Runner. Who did you go with? Brian. He wanted to see it. Was it good? I didn't like it, but Brian loved it. So, in what tense are these questions and these answers? Notice that they are in simple past, right? Now, let's see, or let's remember a little bit about it. First of all, you have to take into account when do you use this tense or this way to talk about the past tense and the structure. Yes. So let's see the first topic. Use the simple past to talk about actions and situations in the past. Here, I want you to be clear that we have to take into account two aspects that are very confusing for us sometimes. It is the simple past of the verb be, that is kind of a special verb, and the simple past of other verbs. I mean main verbs or common verbs, as I call them. Yes? Now, either the verb to be or common verbs, we use it, yes, to talk about these actions or situations, obviously in the past, and they have different ways or different forms. For the case of the verb to be, we use was and were. Yes? Maybe you remember this. The movie was good. The actors were great. So the thing here is that you identify the subjects you need for was or wasn't. Yes, in this case, I, he, she, it was. In negative, I, he, she, it wasn't. But when you refer to the people or plural form of the subjects, yes, and the singular one, you, the second person, we change and we use were. You, we, and they were. Or you, we, and they weren't. Yes? So this is the first thing to identify in the simple past. The case of the verb to be, was, or were, and then we go to the main verbs or other verbs. I call them common verbs. Yes? These common verbs in past tense have two forms, the regular verbs and irregular verbs. As you remember, regular verbs are those verbs where you add ed at the end. Yes? Remember? Want, wanted, like it. And irregular verbs are those verbs that change in the written form. For example, see, saw, go, and went. But I think that right now you are familiar with these regular verbs and these irregular verbs. Now, I want you to see that, or you remember that with these verbs, yes, in the affirmative form, obviously you use the past tense of the verbs. Wanted, liked, saw, and went. Yes, when you make affirmatives. But what happens when you do negatives? In this case, you need the auxiliary. In this case, the auxiliary verb did. But then remember to use the main verb in the simple present. Yes? Now, let's see. If you use the verb to be, you don't need auxiliary did because the verb to be itself is the auxiliary, yes? But with other verbs, regular or irregular, in negative and in questions, you need auxiliary did. Yes? Now let's see the structure. In questions for verb to be, we have was I, was he, was she, was it good, were you good, were we good, were they good. And as I told you before, you have to use the verb you have in the question, in this case was or were, to answer. So you say, yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Yes, we were, or no, they weren't. Yes? But what happens with other verbs? If we made the negative, I told you use didn't. And then the verb, the main verb, in the simple form or in the base form. But what about questions? For questions, you need the auxiliary did. Yes? So either you make questions, yes, no questions, or information questions, you need did. For example, who did you go with? Did you like the movie? And once more, here we have to use the auxiliary we have in the question, in this case did, to give the answer. Did. Yes, I did. Yes, he did. Or no, you didn't. No, they didn't. Okay? So, if you have was in the question, you give your answer with was. Okay? For yes, no questions. If you have did in the question, then you use did in the answer when it is a negative or short answer. Negative, short answer. Yes? Now we have some time expressions commonly used when we talk about the simple past. Yesterday, last week, last year, 2 years ago, 5 minutes ago. These time expressions are called adverbs and they are placed at the end of the sentence. Yes? Well, some key spelling rules is that you notice some verbs, for example, verbs ending in silent E. To make the past, just add the letter D. For example, live, lived. And verbs ending in Y, just drop the Y and add IED. Cry, cry. Yes? Well, now, I hope that you recall this information you already have in your brains or in your short-term memory. Yes? And now let's try to answer some exercises. Okay? Now, so as you remember, the simple past is only used to talk about finite actions, yes, or experiences. That is, that experience, the same experience cannot be repeated. Yes? Okay. But sometimes we have a combination of past continuous and simple past. Remember? If you had the opportunity to check last week's presentation, there were some examples there and some exercises, yes, to combine this past continuous and simple past. Okay, let's start by reading this. This woman is at station. It looks like a train station. It looks like it is snowing. So I assume the weather is quite cold. And what season do you think is this? Okay. So we have, it was winter. I was staying with my grandparents at the time. One day, I needed to go to London. My grandparents offered to drive me to the station. It was snowing and the traffic was moving really slowly, so I decided to get out and walk. As I arrived at the station, the last passengers were getting on the train. I ran to the platform, but it was too late. The train was leaving the station. So, in this case, the woman is talking about an experience she had, but she's describing the moment. Yes? So remember, we use the past continuous to talk about actions and situations in progress. That is to say, at the moment, yes? At that particular moment in the past. Yes, for example, it was snowing and the traffic was moving really slowly. So in this case, she is referring to a past action, but it was something continuous or in progress. Yes? Then, what is the structure? We are going to use, for the past continuous, the auxiliary verb be in past tense. That is to say, was and were. Yes? And then we are going to add the verb with the ending ing. Remember, I already gave you the rules or the spelling rules to create gerunds, right? Well, so I have, I was running, we were running. In negative, you already know you have to add not to the verb be in past. I wasn't running, you weren't running. Now, with questions and answers, right? Remember, you use was and were. Where was she going? Where were you going? In the answer, I have to use the verb was or the verb were and a gerund. For questions that are yes or no, remember to answer with a was or were, not with a gerund, right? So we answer the same. Yes, I was. Yes, we were. Or no, she wasn't. No, they weren't. Right? Now, we also use this tense, the past continuous, to describe. It's like the development or the background or to a story. It's like the introduction to something you are going to say in past, right? So you start this description. For example, it was winter. I was staying with my grandparents at the time. Yes? There are certain verbs that we cannot use in past continuous. Yes, these are called stative verbs. So we have, do not use the past continuous with stative verbs. For example, the verb need. In this case, the verb need cannot be used as a gerund. Yes, we use it in past simple. And there are certain verbs that are used in past simple and that we cannot use in continuous. Now, so we use the past continuous, yes, at the background to a story, right? And we also use it with the simple past, right? So we can combine these two tenses to talk about two actions that happen at the same time, one inside the other or one at the time of the other, remember? Use the past continuous to talk about the action which was already in progress, right? And we use the simple past. And we use the simple past to talk about a second or shorter action. Remember, we have this combination. Okay, for example, she arrived on the platform. The train was leaving the station. So these two actions were happening, but one was already in progress. What was first? The train was leaving the station, yes, and then she arrived on the platform. So we have, when she arrived at the platform, the train was leaving the station. Remember? Okay. The second shorter action sometimes interrupts the action already in progress. Yes, so there was an action in progress and then happened another thing that interrupt this progression, right? For example, the ticket collector stopped me. I was running up the stairs. So imagine this situation. Yes, I was running upstairs. Yes, I am running. And then happened another action that the ticket collector stopped me. Yes, so the progress action was interrupted. So I was running up the stairs to the platform when the ticket collector stopped me. Okay? Well, now, once you remember or remind the simple past and past continuous, how we can combine, let's try to do these exercises. Yes, for exercise 1, put the verbs in the correct order to make questions. Right? Number 2, match the responses A, B, C, D, E to the questions in exercise 1. So here we have to do first the questions here. Create the questions and then you match the answers. Yes? So you'll have 1 minute. Try in 1 minute to think about the questions here. Try to write them or just think about the questions. Yes?
One. What did you do last night?
We went to the movies.
2. What movie did you see?
An old black and white movie called In a Lonely Place.
3. Who were the actors?
Humphrey Bogart and Gloria Graham.
4. What was it about?
A writer and an actress who fell in love.
5. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, it was great.
Okay. Try to get back to this, listen again, check your questions, right? And then check your answers for this exercise. Now let's continue in exercise 3. I'll just give this just 1 minute so that you can have this exercise, but you can pause it and then try to answer it, right? Is complete the conversations with a simple past form of the verb in parentheses or a short answer. Okay, so you already have here the verbs in parentheses. Use them, right, to complete the conversation. Okay. Okay, now try this other exercise where we're going to combine the use of both tenses, right? So for the first exercise, is complete the sentences. Now pay attention if you are using was, were, wasn't, or were. Weren't. You have to use say the correct, make the correct use of this verb to be, either positive or negative, right? So have a look at this, pause this, and then you can try this in your notebook, okay? Okay. Now, for exercise 2, we have these two conversations. And here you have to choose the correct verb. Okay, you have a minute here to read both conversations before you listen. Okay, so I will leave this here just half a minute. I think it's enough. And then I'll play the audio, okay? My advice is that you write in your notebook number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that when you listen, you write down the answer. Yes? Did you do or were you doing? Did you have or were you having? And so forth. Yes? Okay. Now it's complete, so try to read this. Okay, now I will play the audio and try to follow the conversations. The first time, try to listen, close your eyes and just listen to the conversations, or I will just cover part of the text with the player, yes? In the second time, just try to follow the conversation and then try to choose your answer. So first,
Conversation 1.
What were you doing
Okay.
at 2 a.m. this morning?
Conversation 1.
What were you doing at 2 a.m. this morning? Were you having a party?
No, not a party. We invited some friends for dinner. Why?
The music was really loud. I was trying to get to sleep.
Sorry, I didn't know it was so loud.
Conversation 2. Oh, hello. I didn't know you were waiting for me. I was speaking to Mark on the phone.
It's okay. I finished work about half an hour ago. Would you like to go for a quick coffee? Have you got time?
Yes, I have. I was just looking at a report, but I can finish it later.
okay, now try to listen again and now follow the conversations and try to give the answer, okay?
Conversation 1.
What were you doing at 2 a.m. this morning? Were you having a party?
No, not a party. We invited some friends for dinner.
Why? The music was really loud. I was trying to get to sleep.
Sorry, I didn't know it was so loud.
Conversation 2. Oh, hello. I didn't know you were waiting for me. I was speaking to Mark on the phone.
It's okay. I finished work about half an hour ago. Would you like to go for a quick coffee? Have you got time?
Yes, I have. I was just looking at a report, but I can finish it later.
Conversation 1.
What were you doing at 2 a.m. this morning? Were you having a party?
No, not a party. We invited some friends for dinner.
Why? The music was really loud. I was trying to get to sleep.
Sorry, I didn't know it was so loud.
Conversation 2. Oh, hello. I didn't know you were waiting for me. I was speaking to Mark on the phone.
It's okay. I finished work about half an hour ago. Would you like to go for a quick coffee? Have you got time?
Yes, I have. I was just looking at a report, but I can finish it later.
Okay, so I hope you got the answer. Try it in your notebook. Go back to this, listen again, etc. Okay? Now, look at this picture here for the next exercise. Yes. Complete the text with the past continuous or simple past form of the verbs. What you have to do here is to identify whether it is a continuous action or a past action, but try to identify which one is the continuous one and which one is the simple one. Yes? So look at the picture Look at the man, yes, the place, the actions here, and then try to answer this. Think about what is the action that is continuous and which one is the action that interrupts the other one, okay? So you have there the picture. Okay. And now we have the complete exercise. Yes? Okay. Well, so try please to do this practice. This is only extra practice for the topic or finish the topic. You already have a lot of work to do in the platform. My ELT are in your groups. You are working in groups too. And you already have a lot to do. But if you try this, if you can do this, that's okay. Right? So the forum will be open for this week about past continuous and past simple, right? Just to finish with the topic. So that's all for this short presentation. Thank you, and well, we'll keep in touch for next week, okay? Don't forget to go to the forums, and the blogs that are there for some of the entries you have to do will be open next week for those people who weren't able to hand in, yes, their homework for the blogs. Right now the blogs are closed, yes, so you have to wait until next week. So thank you very much. I hope you are fine, and well, we'll keep in touch. Have a good day.